ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Honcast Deadeye Bounty League playoff action continuing here. What is the $14,000 prize pool ultimately on the line? Every single series, money on the line here for the four teams that were competing in this event. Now, obviously, I say were because we are now actually down to three teams here in the playoffs, including these two right here, and who are taking place in the winner bracket finals. Reason Gaming versus Sync Esports in a best of five. Definitely looking forward to a pretty good one here. As you see on the brackets on your screen, things have developed. Complexity being knocked out by Druids on Tuesday, actually. 3-0 there in that series, and thus Druids advancing on. So they'll face the loser ultimately of the series moving on into the weekend, but we got to figure out what happens here in this matchup, and we are already driving through this draft here. Before we get too much into that, though, I want to introduce, of course, my co-caster today. Going to be Snooey here. Snooey, how's it going?
Hi, Breaky. Doing good as always. As a matter of fact, I actually woke up from a longer nap recently, so I'm well rested, and I got to warm up with some mid-wars with the recent guys, where they told me that they were very confident in before the series, and I think it's safe to say that both of these teams have a big amount of respect for one another. Recent Gaming obviously have had some recent success when it comes to results versus Sync Esports, and I think it's safe to say that they are the only European/North American team that's been doing so, or had some decent results at least. Of course, beating them in qualifier number 1 with 2-1 in that series.
Yes.
And they haven't had a chance to play versus Deadeye or in Deadeye Bounty League yet, but they're also in the same group at DreamHack, so it's very important to win this game, or at least not to go down easy, to show some respect or to show some confidence here.
Yeah, it's actually double in the group stages. They actually did meet up, and Sync took them out 3-0.
Oh,
in the
really?
group stages. Yeah, they were both in Group B, so they did get the chance to play as well after they did defeat them in the DreamHack qualifiers, and yeah, obviously Sync got the better of them there. So, but yeah, I mean the point still stands. Reason Gaming is one of the few teams that not only has competed very well against Sync lately, but has beat them, of course, as you were just talking about with that DreamHack qualifier number 1. Now, to be fair, that was a while ago. It's about a month and a half now when you really think about it. So it is kind of crazy how things have flown here as far as developments. But again, really expecting a solid best of 5 here at the very least. Obviously, again, the point is Reason can't compete. But Sync, they are looking very good yet again. They just 3-0 Druids. Of course, in the first round of these playoffs here this previous weekend. And like I said, they also went undefeated in the group stages. So they're yet again on one of these streaks here going into that DreamHack tournament ultimately. So no doubt the favorites for today. But anyways, we got this draft to talk about, so let's start getting into that. The bands, by the way, were Tremble, Behemoth, Ophelia, and Cthulhu Font coming out. Interesting stuff there. You see they give up Warbeast. Warbeast and a Parasite, Moira and a Puppet Master, Corrupted in a Pebbles. They first picked a Parasite here, even instead of Moira. What is your take on that?
I just want to point out as well that Swiftblade is untouched so far.
True.
It's not often that he gets to the second banning phase. He's usually first picked or second pick, but swapping or letting the Moira go is probably for the result of the Warbeast. They don't want to give them the Parasite as well, because this is definitely, or if Sync has made their homework looking at complexity games that the reason we're playing earlier or last week or something, then they knew for a fact that Warbeast was going safely and that Reason likes to go for offensive lineups. And I think it's safe to say that Moira and Corrupted, those two heroes were the kind of heroes that they were using versus complexity when they were manning up. So I think Sync realized they just wanted to have that offensive forcer for themselves, just not to paint themselves into a corner.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Yeah, again, they had that great series against Complexity, ultimately winning 3-2. It was a hell of a series there, but yeah, you're right. I remember seeing that Warby short lane even. So I think it's safe to say Insanity has done that research there, so making the picks appropriately. The follow-up bands, Nymphora, Chipper, Engineer, Prisoner, Rhapsody, and Moraxis coming out. And a pretty quickly Pyromancer pick then coming out from Reason Gaming over here. So looks like shaping up to be more of a dual support in the end on their side.
Yeah, I'm not wait, which Telephant was banned? Yes, Swiftblade's still untouched. I'm not sure what I like about the Pyromonster though. I feel like he's very, very squishy and a Parasite, Puppet Monster, Pebbles. Usually all those three heroes are the kind of hero that you want to pick up when you're up versus those dual supports because you can find kills a little bit here and there. So I'm surprised that they are actually going for this dual support, if they are to. It could also be a Pyromonster in the mid versus that Pebbles.
Yeah.
Or in the safe lane, a carry Pyromonster on Imba Boy.
Absolutely. I will say, yeah, the Corrupted Disciple, though, on top of that, as they final pick the Magnus, actually. But Imba has been running a lot of this Corrupted Disciple as of late, especially, and really has kind of become a carry for whatever the reasons of being tried out more and more in general as of late. So, has kind of been a flavor carry, you could say. But again, Imba especially is known for playing it. But yeah, the final pick Magnus, it does really give us that information there. Kinda. I mean, if Tankafed ends up playing Warbeast, then obviously that's going to be a jungle Warbeast. So we'll see how they shape up here.
I don't think he's going to end up on it. It's just mind tricks for now. Oh my god, Wretched Hag.
Wow.
Okay. Is that a suicide? Wretched Hag versus Corrupted Disciple and Moira?
Looks like it.
Okay, interesting. No, but I feel like recent gaming, I mean, I think they drafted this with the intention to go with Warbeast in the safe lane, but I think that they can easily swap this up and just go for 2 dual lanes and Warbeast and Suicide. Not only the sync play or pick up the Empath, so he can't really do too much versus the Wolves. He's gonna be mid with Pebbles or in a dual lane. So Magnus and Pyromonster versus Pebbles and Empath, I think that's favorable for the Legion team, especially when they have Mora rotating in with that illusion.
Yeah. Yeah, though this should be interesting, definitely. Again, the Suicide Hag being played by KZoo, that is something somewhat unique here. So, you know, one of the questions I did pose actually in the Reddit thread that I made on this matchup here was kind of the flavor question for it was, are we going to actually see a Thunderbringer in this matchup? Because it's kind of funny how both of these teams actually did run Thunderbringer in the first round here of the Deadeye Bounty League. So don't see it here in game number 1 just yet. It wasn't banned or anything like that, right? No, yeah, it wasn't banned. But you never know. You never know. Again, considering they both ran it in the very first round. But that's for later. We got our makeup now, as far as what we're looking at. But off the bat, Reason Gaming, they're going to head into the jungle here, and doesn't look like they're going to really encounter much, other than maybe Puppet Master if he's hanging around, but not going to be the case.
Oh,
He falls back.
Pebbles was a little bit, or he wasn't too far away. But yeah, in the end, probably not going to get anything. They're going to make sure to ward up the Parasite camps at least. So, but at the looks of it, he's actually going to go for the offensive kind of playstyle here.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those cases, right? You pretty much expect it to happen, so why not go aggressive is his mindset here in the end. Now, against a dual support, is that considered fairly risky, going up against a dual support with it?
Yeah, Moira isn't necessarily the best one to deal with the Parasite creeps. Neither is the Pyromonster though, so I think it's alright for this particular matchup, but it's still a little bit risky, especially if they catch up on the Legion. If Moira or near here on the Moira just make sure to block the hard camp, then he has to rotate all the way over to the left side of the Legion force, and that's a little bit risky, especially when you have 2 stunners in the mid.
Yeah, well, Wretched Hag actually taking a little bit of pressure right here, ultimately going to blink away and will be fine, but obviously, Imba Boy and Near right here making a statement that it's not going to be easy one for him as far as sitting comfortably in there. But Parasite does make his way into the Legion jungle, sure enough. He's got those boots on top of the 2 mana potions, of course, and looking for some creeps. Let's have a Wild Hunter spawn right here. Not necessarily great as farm, but for ganking, of course, good at that. Magnus, he's fine. Taking some pressure there, but yeah, you see off the bat, Moira more so is trying to roam around a bit, maybe trying to catch this Parasite here, but unable to do so. And actually, I mentioned the Wild Hunter. It's good for ganking.
No
Magnus
mana.
is in trouble right here. Pebbles running in. He didn't stalagmite. Nice juke by Onmi. If that's the difference maker, it looks like no. The uphill attack does connect, and down goes Onmi right there, playing the Pebbles. So very close. But yeah, I mean, the Pebble Stalagmites was a late reaction. I was a little surprised at that.
Yeah, it was. It was Tagafa doing a good job at the same time. I guess Mickey wasn't thinking of that. But yeah, nice follow-up stun on the Pyromonster, of course. But that was also a wonderful sidestep by Onmi. I mean, if that would have been the difference maker, that would have been insane.
Yeah.
It would have been a top 5 play, but unfortunately not going to make it out.
Just a little shot right there. So the aggressive Parasite, safe to say, already paying off here. And in fact, He's going for round 2. He pops the Wild Hunter Invis. He's kind of going back and forth, a little indecisive it looks like, and actually is just going to continue to farm in the end. So, yeah, one of those cases. Don't want to get too greedy with it, of course. Want to farm instead, and that's what Zlapt is going to do. But if you're the Legion team right here, I mean, again, you know Parasite's aggressive. Are you a little surprised maybe even that they aren't trying to address it, or that kind of goes back to what you're saying, though? Maybe the supports aren't the best for dealing with them, so they kind of just have to deal with it, right?
More or less, yes. They also need level 2 on Mora before they like really start addressing him for real, because you don't want to give up too much experience down here at the bot lane for Mora. He's doing a nice or a good job stacking here now with a tri-stack, so he's gonna get some experience at least. But as soon as he gets level 2, then I would really want them to just address the Parasite and get him out of the forest.
Yeah. You're right here doing that pole camp, as we're mentioning, so gonna get some decent experience there, obviously off to the side. In the meantime, corrupt to the side. Oh yeah, middle lane. Pebble's gonna initiate right there on the Magnus. He does have a lava surge. They want to go to Pyromancer though. The wall off. It actually looks like it does catch him. Tank Effect can't really move. He's forced to stand his ground. He throws on a big combo though, and down goes Parasite. Insania's also gonna fall. What a turnaround right there by Reason Gaming. A double tap for Tank Effect, something that did not see coming when that first started off there.
Once again, well played by Reason, definitely capitalizing on the moment, but that was miscommunication by Sync. It was quite obvious that they were not going to get the Magnus, seeing as the Parasite and Empath is just level 2, and it's just easy to Lava Surge out of both the Essence Link and, of course, the Slow as well. So, Mika doing a little bit of a mistake there, going for the Magnus.
Yeah, definitely costing them, well, quite a bit in the end. Obviously, the double tap coming out. So at least Pebbles does survive, but all damage is done. Now, Magnus again. Obviously, Wolof a little awkward against a hero like a Magnus, has that Lava Surge. In fact, he even ran all the way around it and then Lava Surge at the end, so that was kind of funky. But really just making a point that, you know, he's decent against it. Not really feeling too scared.
That is. So far, he hasn't leveled up either Volcanic Touch or Steam Buff, by the way. I feel like putting at least one level in that Steam Buff would have been a good idea.
Yeah, especially how much pressure has been coming out here. But maybe he's waiting for more of the reaction, if anything. I mean, he definitely didn't go stats, I think it's safe to say. But Pebbles, in the meantime, middle lane. They realize that Empath missing more. The Shards of Harkon is going to connect. There's the Mana Center as well. It is enough damage. That was close, but it does count. Meanwhile, Parasite coming in with the Minotaur. Wall off on a Pyromancer. He is going to cut him off right there. And the stun from the Minotaur ultimately will secure the kill. Empath looks like she should be fine, as those are just illusions chasing her down. So at least they get the turn kill in the end. But still the hero kill advantage still in favor of Reason here.
That they do. Yeah, I'm still surprised. I mean, I like that Sync is putting pressure all the way to Magnus. No, he's gonna search up there. I like that they're putting pressure and, you know, addressing or keeping the Parasite going offensive, constantly coming back to the mid lane. But that just goes back to the Wretched Hag pick, though. I mean, if they were thinking about running some kind of like pseudo trial in here in the mid, like Gang Train, why don't they pick a more favorable matchup for the Suicide lane versus that Corrupted Disciple? Like Wretched Hag, he's struggling. He's 170 GPM, and I mean, Imboboy more or less has a flawless record already. 300 plus gold per minute here on Corrupted Disciple, which isn't normally like the best 1 versus 1 hero. He got buffed a little bit in the latest patch, but still, I mean, there's a lot of ranged heroes like Kinesis and those kind of Suicide heroes that can do very, very well versus him.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, do you have an example? So it sounds like something like a Kinesis even. Would have really been a
pretty much
one.
fills the same role in a way. Kinesis can carry into the late game. He's got a mobility if he picks up the full key, and he got a lot of magic damage, which I assume that's what Sync was after here with the Wretched Hag.
Yeah. Middle lane again. Here we go. Nice stun from Pyromancer to lead it off right there. In comes the counter, though, from Pebbles as he kills the illusion off. Magnus himself, though, is he going to stun in for the kill? Yes, he is. He gets the kill, but at what cost right here? Own me, he's running away. It looks like he may actually survive. That's the crazy part. In the background, Pyromancer, though, he's going toe-to-toe with Empath. Yes, it's like it's on Moira, and actually it will keep Empath alive. They do take out Pyromancer, but Magnus finishes off Empath off to the side as Moira will eventually fall as well. You saw Puppet Master joining the party, even a Warby. So this is mid-wars, man.
I have no idea about the Warby still. Why is he here?
Yeah.
He's not even level 6.
He's wants to feel close, I guess. Yeah, he has a battle cry, obviously, at level 3 now, and that no doubt has been helping in these exchanges here. But geez, the mid-wars pressure is just it's off the charts here in game number 1.
Yeah, so far, I mean, it's looking relatively good as well for both teams, and you can't really say that someone is coming out ahead. I mean, look at the golden experience right now; it's identical.
Yeah, it's pretty much at the same point right here. So that kind of takes us to the GPM chart and getting a better picture of how things are looking. Puppet Master is leading the way, obviously getting someone involved there in the middle, and that he got, what, a kill and an assist out of it. So Flensmeister definitely worthy to move there. 360 gold per minute, looking good. On the other side, though, Corrupted Disciple wasn't involved. Obviously, 0-0-0 still, but as far as farm goes, it's still looking pretty damn good. In fact, look at those denies. He's on top of that always, man. In fact, I'm sure Quincy even has something like average denies per game. I would not be surprised if Imbaboy leads that. Amongst all carry players especially. So middle lane, Pebble's going to be jump right here. The follow-up stuff for Pyroman. It's such a good combo for that reason right there. So much damage, so much follow-up. Empath also in trouble. You see Magnus is dropping low. He got body blocked a little bit. He's not that kid. Onmi still alive. Are you kidding me? A hat trick for the team. It's going to be a quad kill for the team. A double tap for Tankafet. Onmi once again escaping and getting more kills. He is on fire this game.
Swagmas incoming. Oh no, that was once again beautiful. Communication is just on top here from Recent Gaming. They do everything right. They get to multiply people in those stuns every single time, and that's the downside with Empath as well. If he's not close enough, he's not gonna have enough time to cancel the eruption coming out from Magnus, so they can easily get a pick off onto Pebbles.
Yeah.
Now he's level 5. I mean, this was even just like 1 minute ago, but now Pebbles is level 5 and Magnus is level 8.
That's insane. A middle versus middle, the one guy has a 3-level advantage over the others. This feels like my TMM games when I go middle here. I mean, this is ridiculous. 8 minutes in, yeah, Magnus being level 8 here, farming very well now, 360 gold per minute on top of that. The Mickey factor, not so much of a factor here so far, at least in game number 1. So now you see a little bit of a lead building up. In fact, Omi, he going ballsy here. He goes in pretty early, but that's because he has to back up eventually coming. I think he went in a little too early, though. And actually, Empath, no way. Is he actually going to live? Warbeast is like, I'm going to ulti and get the kill. Nier takes it. Oh, well. They get the kill. That's what matters. But, yeah, I think if Magnus was just maybe a second more patient, they probably would have got Pebbles, too. But little antsy there. But, man, the pressure from Reason. I don't know. Is it usually Reason Gaming's playstyle to be doing this?
They have been picking it up more and more lately. I was watching some scrims versus Sync as well. They ran a lot of offensive lineups, like offensive tri-lanes, and we saw versus Complexity in pretty much every single game except 1 or 2 where they ran the Dark Lane carry. They like to man up. They got the communication working. So as long as you got that, I mean, it's usually a good idea to just bring the pressure. Yeah, and you see Wretched Hag also getting picked off. And, you know, you talk about Wretched Hag, too. You mentioned that you're not necessarily a huge fan of the pickup. And another reason for that, Moira is also decent against a hero like a Wretched Hag. You know, the Mana Sunder. The Mana Sunder ability, obviously very good. On top of just having a stun, of course, always powerful against a Hag. So, I mean, we saw right there, the combo of the two easily sets up a kill for Corrupted Disciple to come in and do enough damage to take her out. So, oh, Empath in the mid.
Yeah, he's going to get caught up to the side. Now, Magnus, he might be diving a little too far, though. Puppet Master happens to be nearby. Voodoo Puppet's out. He wants to try to get the kill right here. Parasite in the face second. They finally will take out Onmi. It is his second death, but it's been a while. Pyromancer, in the meantime, he's getting caught out, and he eventually will be picked off as well. So, a couple of kills for Sync right there.
That's well needed. That's very well needed. They got a lot of experience from those kills. 9 and 8 are the levels from Pyromancer and Magnus. So yeah, diving a little bit too far. I guess they didn't. Okay, tower down at for Recent Gaming down at the bottom. But yeah, I guess they didn't expect the Puppet Master to be that close by, and it was a little bit lucky for Sync. I mean, I'm gonna admit that, but still, they need to be careful. They should probably wait to pick up that until they pick up that Polki onto Magnus. But still, I mean, no Steam Bath on Magnus. I'm pretty sure that he could have disjointed 1 or 2 spells there in that situation. If he just had that spell. But level 9, no Steam Bath, I mean, that's a mistake. No matter how well he's been playing.
Did he actually go stats? He did, didn't he? Because he's he's level 9 and he only has, what, 7 points spent. So, I mean, he's gone 2 points into stats.
He must have, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I don't get that at all. I mean, at least the 1 level, as you're pointing out of the Steam Bath, over, you know, maybe just that much more live, just that much more mana pool. It does seem a little silly, but I mean, this is the Magnus that's 5, 2, and 4 right now, so it's hard to question him, but I still think that's very worth Very worth pointing out there. That is an interesting decision, but they do push the middle tower
fine,
as well.
you know, going for the stats in the early game, no doubt. But now, instead of going for Volcanic Touch level 2, I mean, it might be better to just get 1 level in Steam Buff. Here is the Wild Hunter, by the way, and they're gonna find the tank of it. I'm quite sure that this might result in a kill. Where is the backup from the Legion team? Moira is nearby, so is the Magnus.
Well, you see Pyromancer, I was going to say he should be fine, but actually if he goes this way, maybe not. And now he knows. I mean, it's almost as if he didn't realize initially. And all of a sudden a Wild Hunter's chasing you. Yeah, you might want to back off from that. So he actually just even throws in an auto attack and runs away. Obviously, the whole team of Recent Gaming, they're going to start grouping up now. Again, Corrupted Disciple, he is a great hero for that especially. So, and Imboboy has been playing it lately. So I guess to kind of answer my own question, this does seem like that's what Recent Gaming has been doing somewhat lately. In the end, and it's showing off here once again. They push the top tower. Jeez, already a 5,300 goal lead. I mean, this is Recent Gaming making a statement here in Game 1.
Yeah, it seems like Corrupted Disciple is rushing towards the BKB timing as well, and if he can get that, there's a lot of spells that he can disjoint. Puppet Monster doesn't really have too much physical damage at this point, and Parasite, Pebbles, Wretched Hag, more or less only magic damage.
Yeah. Puzzle box is finished on Slap. I think I saw him purchase it. I believe that was a full puzzle box. Yeah, he has Striders and a Blood Chalice, jeez. But he's farming about 300 gold per minute, so...
That's not too shabby. He's actually doing quite well. Puzzle box this early.
Yeah. You're right. That is a big pickup at 13 minutes in. Considering his team is down 12-6 in Hero Codes especially, so... That could be crucial to have it. You like the idea of puzzle box in this Legion team?
Yeah, I do. I think it's good. Well, Magnus doesn't have Steam Buff yet, so it's not going to help versus that, but map control is without a doubt going to be a big question here in the near future if Recent Gaming are looking to keep the aggression up.
Yeah. Obviously important. Puppet Master, he is trying to finish that Assassin shot early on. By the way, he even won a Ring of the Teacher early on in this game, so having a nice little buff for the team, obviously, when it comes to the aura effect of it, but... having that on top of what's going to be an assassin shot here, and especially with a lot of action taking place, definitely makes sense to be going that. Is Imboboy going to Shrunken, by the way? Is that what we're thinking here? Okay. Makes sense to you?
Would make sense at least. Yeah. With all the magic damage on the Hellborn team. I just don't see like why they picked up the Wretched Hag once again gonna go down, and this time it's to the support.
Solo Pyromancer, yeah. That's when you know you're having a bad time. But Pyromancer, to be fair, he is obviously good at that. But
of course, but yeah, it still goes back to the pick. I just don't know why they wanted to pick him up. When they already have the Parasite and the Pebbles with so much magic damage, it doesn't make too much sense. I guess they wanted him to be a presence in the mid as well, and just be 4-man mid early on. Just support him with a Wretched Hag and jump in with a Sona Scream or something, finish some people off, get some experience. But it's safe to say that it's not working out the way that Sync intended.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, by the way, quick note, too. I mean, again, the Jedi Banner League with the format and everything with how the prize pool works, every single series, money on the line. And to reiterate here, there's $2,500. Winner takes all in this series, basically, is what's on the line. I mean, that's a good chunk of change for a best of 5 that we're looking at right here. So, obviously, Reason Gaming right now feeling pretty good about that. It is still, only game number 1 and even earlier on in that, though. So, not to get too ahead of ourselves, but... once again, to reiterate what ultimately is on the line here. And, of course, advancing forward into the tournament. But it is going to be a Shrunken Head on Corrupted Disciple. Again, more just to the point that he is going up against a lot of magical presence on this Hellborn side. So, makes sense there. You even see Wretched Hag even getting a bottle at this point. A very late bottle, but at least he has something now when it comes to regen, I guess.
That's 600 gold, though. That could have been invested into a Mystic Vestment, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And I would personally have liked to see that a lot more than this bottle. It doesn't provide him anything. Yeah, a little bit of regen, but he needs runes for it. And at this point, I mean, 60 minutes into the game, no.
A little late.
Oh my god. And, yeah, Insane as well, placing a Ward of Sight here just after Nier already placed one, so they got that one countered in a minute or so.
We have a Bound Eye or anything like that? Yeah, no Bound Eye, but I'm sure Rev Ford going to be heading out here in the near future. God, yeah, look at Tankify, man. Portal Key already onto him with the Major Totem.
I mean, he's got more farm than almost everyone on the Hellborn team. It's only Puppet Monster besting him at this point, and that's only with 20 gold per minute.
Yeah. I mean, to have a support Pyromancer
insane.
in general, again, you like to pick him up because it provides support. We talked about that all the time with State Green, especially when they were around. They
Oh,
liked
bottom.
him and Witch Slayer for those reasons. Bottom lane, Magnus is going to go down. There's the Assassin Shroud doing a work here for Puppet Master. Exactly on cue. I believe he just got it as well, so making a good play with it right away. And obviously have an Empath as well. Definitely some enhanced damage there. And good find to Magnus, who still does not have Steam. He must have something against the ability, man. Like, I don't know. It just really does not seem logical. But bottom lane, Wretched
No.
Hag.
It doesn't.
Victim to Pyromancer yet again. Using that portal key here, so. But yeah, he's going to be level 11 in the near future. Pebbles missed the stun. That's big, actually. In fact, Pyromancer jumps in. He had to start the Heartcut on him, so there's that stun. And in comes the Conduit, and here goes Corrupted. Couple of auto attacks later, down goes Pebbles. Top tower does fall in favor of Sync, at least. So getting kind of something out of it there, but
That was a surprise factor as well for Mickey and a Pebbles portal key. They haven't seen it before, and he jumped in and just missed the stun. So yeah, bad news for Sync, no doubt. I don't see Reason Gaming. Oh wait, what is Flensmeister doing here up at the top lane? Oh my God, Zane's actually gonna go into the forest. I'm not sure if he was sensing that, but that was an insane decision right there, because he would have been 100% dead if he rotated or if he just went back to the lane.
yeah, stuck around. But Zane, obviously a great player, and has played this role many of times. So, by the way, I was actually just going to point out too, 0-10 on Warbeast, those 10 assists. Obviously, that's the power of that battle cry, though. Being able to use that and not only, well, obviously assist your team in getting the kills in the first place, but hey, gets credit for the assists on top of that and can still sit in his lane and continue to farm away. So, yeah, he's even up there at 325 gold per minute. It's across the board, obviously looking good. Hell, even a 200 GPM Moira ain't too shabby right now for Reason Gaming. So, it seems like the whole idea of grouping up and pushing continues to be the trend right now for Reason. Pebbles, he's going to find Magnus. Magnus, though, goes in first. And actually, Pebbles is the one that's going to feel it. And Mickey goes down right there. Does he have a buyback? He does not. So if you're Sync, you are not fighting this at all, I would think.
No, you just want to defend in the base for now. I don't see Reason Gaming breaking the base. That's the thing. I feel like this is going to be a long one. And Reason Gaming are usually, which we also saw versus or in the complexity series, that they don't necessarily want to force things. They are like, more than comfortable just sitting back and waiting. They got Corrupted Disciple, which isn't very good at taking the towers because of his low range, of course. Then they got a Magnus, usually the kind of hero that you want to like take defensive team fights with. It's not the best for actually breaking base because of that channel spell. At the same time though, Sync doesn't have the best counter push. They don't. It's only the Pebbles more or less, which is shock ability, and a wall from Empath, but still, it's going to be tricky going up versus the Puppet Master, who is, by the way, here. Empath is inside, and they're looking to get a kill on this War Beast.
They're up here. Warbeast, I mean, he's right next to the tower, though. He's not the squishiest of targets. He has an Abyssal Skull, a Mighty Blade, Parasite's here, and he's going to read. I mean, he saw, if anything, the Skeleton King coming in. I don't even think he realized, but now here we go. There's the jump the wall off, a little bit awkward right there. Zane's standing his ground. It's not going to matter, though. You do see the port in from Moira. Arcane Vortex will catch Parasite. Here comes Pyromancer. Ooh, he stunned a little too early. And in the end, Parasite's going to get away. So, yeah, a little misjudging right there, the duration of the Arcane Vortex. And Parasite does escape with his life. So, successful gank is successful by Sync Esports there, as they're using their movement. But obviously more is going to need to take place. I was going to say, are we expecting to see maybe a staff even on Emma Boy, but no, he does go the Firebrand. And I feel like we've asked this before, and he goes this as well. So hey, he just doesn't like staff, I guess.
I don't know. I think that staff would have been a wonderful choice in this game in particular, just because he's up versus so much magic damage on the Helmut team. He needs to be a little bit tanky. They don't really have that, strength hero to be in front in the team fight. So him picking up a staff would have been very welcome from my side.
Well, instead, going the Firebrand. Like I said, I believe there's other games too.
Look at the top lane, Flensmeister.
Oh, Flensmeister getting caught. That's a quick kill. God, that Pyromancer, man. What is it? How much damage is it now? 675. Straight to the face magic damage. That's ridiculous. I mean, you look at the health pool of this Hellborn team. Like, Parasite is the tankiest at 1400 life. I mean, that's, obviously Puzzle Box doing a lot for that, but you know what else I'm noticing a trend of? No Mystic Vestments other than Puppet Master over there, so.
Yeah, I don't know why Kisu hasn't picked one up yet. He's been a victim for that Pyromancer ultimate several times this game already.
Yeah.
But no, for some reason he goes for the Grave Locket instead. And I mean, it's true that you shouldn't necessarily pick up Mystic Vestment too early into the game. You need around like 1k HP before it really pays off. But at the same time, you are going to get to that point sooner or later in this game, though. I mean, it's always good to have it prepared.
Yeah. Corrupt the Disciple pushing the top lane somewhat by himself. He does have Magnus backup, but, you know, as far as Sync is concerned, he's by himself. But he's going to push it. I mean, Sync is also pretty scared right now for good reason, so they just let it fall, and they did get the bottom first tower, but not usually the best of trades there. Again, that kind of really shows you once again where Sync is at right now, though. They're not looking to play the toe-to-toe, we're going to fight you head-on game, because well, when it comes to team fight, especially right now, it is in favor of Reason, as they've shown several times here in the end. So they're relying a lot on the pit game as well as trying to enhance the farm on Flensmeister. He gets a Warhammer, by the way. I assume that's going to be a Shrunken.
It must be. Yeah, I was just about to mention that as well. It surprises me that he is actually going for this much of a defensive route. It just shows how much respect they have for the Legion lineup right now. Going for 2 defensive items, that's going to slow down his farm by quite a bit.
Yeah. God, now you see a Shrunken Head and a Warbeast as well. Again, what threat is there on this Hellborn side once they have Shrunken Heads? It's obviously Puppet Master. He deals some okay physical. And but at this point, it's still a little toned down. In later games, sure, but they're very, very reliant on that magic damage right now. So the Shrunken Heads, and not only that, but the crowd control in general. Obviously, Puppet Master relies a lot on that too. So look at the damage charts, by the way, this earlier on. But Pyromancer dominating 27% hero damage here. And there goes Kongor. So token uncorrupted, yeah. He picks up the token of life right there.
Hopefully they can make something happen with it, like actually make a base push happen, because it doesn't make too much, or like in case they're just going to let it run out, like just going to play safe with it, then it's not even a good idea to get or to give up towers to Sync for getting the token. They have to make something happen. And by the way, bottom...
Corrupt the Disciple. Well, again, he has the token. Voodoo Puppet comes in and gets the kill. So they do get the token used right away right there.
Yeah, we were just talking about it as well, that they had to make something happen with it, because they gave up 1 or 2 towers for the token. So Sync, that's a big momentum for their part.
Yeah, and that's because it's going to allow Puppet Master especially. But, you know, Parasite we can't forget too. And honestly, Wretched Hag. I mean, in fact, Wretched Hag almost has a Hellflower now. So much crap as they're given on the pick. And the start here for KZU playing the Hag was pretty abysmal. He's now 345 gold per minute, actually. And a Hellflower is just around the corner. So, yeah, I kind of haven't really been looking at the GPM of Sync, but the fact that they have 4 heroes 300-plus gold per minute right now is honestly a little surprising, considering how the game's
They've been doing a really good job at recovering, yes. But that's usually what Sync does. They have gotten all those towers. They have traded quite well, to be fair. And just now recently, I mean, giving up Kongor for getting 2 towers more or less, I mean, it favors them at this point. If they can get a Hellflower on the Wretched Hag, and they get a Bulwark onto Pebbles, and then Puzzle Box level 3 should be up here in the near future for Slap, if not already. Actually can't see what level it is on that Puzzle Box right now for some reason.
Yeah. It's inside, so... we'll have to check in a second. I want to say level 2, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
I'm almost want to say that I dislike the tablet pickup on Magnus a little bit, seeing as they already had one on Pyromancer as well. I feel like they should have gone for a little bit more towards that late game. Maybe get a Bulwark on his own, or maybe even start building towards that Hellflower or the Sheepstick. Yeah. Because, I mean, they want to break the base sooner or later. I think it's safe to say that they got the late game, or they got a lot of late game presence already with the Warbeast and the Corrupted Disciple, but seeing as they had such an enormous advantage early on, I feel like you can afford to go a little bit greedy.
Yeah. No, and yeah, you look at the lineup, too, of the Hellborn side. Again, there's not a, we need a tablet against that hero kind of deal, like a Kronos or a Pharaoh even, or Kraken tend to be more popular ones. Yeah, this whole sure, it's still good in the end, but it's definitely not as necessary, you would think, for those others. So yeah, it's definitely where you're coming from there, and some maybe gold that could have been spent elsewhere towards a better investment. But in the end, he has it, as does Pyromancer. Both have those portal key tablet combinations to use to their fullest here. I assume Corrupted's also going to be looking to finish a Geometer's Bane here in the near future. Well, maybe not. I mean, the way he is saving up gold right now. Actually, perhaps a different direction. I mean, maybe he's just going to go straight into his next tier item. Oh, well, there you go. It is the Assassin Shroud in the end.
All right.
Okay. Whoa, hold on.
No.
No, he sold it.
What?
And then he
No,
bought
yeah,
a
okay.
dancing blade. Okay.
I was like, does he have a Jinjuro?
Yeah, already? Holy crap. Now, but I wonder if that's some hindsight there, or some info that is he actually going to go against Jiro with that dancing blade? And he figured maybe just agility would be it? No, he wouldn't do that, right? That wouldn't make sense. He would go the Assassin Shroud first.
Yeah,
Going the Gajiro,
he would.
yeah.
This is probably... I don't know. I don't like Assassin's Shroud. I mean, they're up versus a puzzle box already on a Parasite, so in team fights it's going to be... well, it's not going to be effective, simple said. And seeing as... what was I about to say here? Yeah, the Corrupt Disciple isn't necessarily the Puppet Master. It doesn't have that factor that he can go for ganks. So Assassin's Shroud makes no sense at all.
Yeah, so it looks like, again, with him buying the Dancing Blade first, probably going to be the Wingbow instead, and more logic to it there. The Savage Mace possibility, not really a huge threat just yet, at least, on top of it, so could prove to be a pretty effective item choice here.
I gotta give props for both supports in the series as well. I love to see it. Both of them got the bound I pick up early on.
Yes, you are a big fan of that item for a good reason. It's good in that map control, so more having it here. You see a Wretched Hag, they're farming aggressive. Yeah, Sync, it really is doing a great job of basically selling reason that if you're gonna do your thing in our side of the map, we'll farm in your side of the map. It's we'll just take what we can get kind of deal, and they're making it work big time. I mean, it's Corrupt is the only outlier here, but everyone else, I mean, this is just a very, very even game right now. So obviously having Corrupted up there does help advantage for Reason, but for considering the start to this game and how it was starting to snowball for Reason, it really felt like that it could have gotten out of control. And, you know, it kind of does go back a little bit to the idea of Corrupted, say he did go with Staff of the Master instead of that Firebrand. That is more Team 5 push presence earlier on in the game. And perhaps then they could have tried to break into the base. But he went more of the not even traditional, but different style of combat build. Puppet Master, by the way. Oh my god, he's going to live in. They're going to turn it on a Pyromancer. That was perfect timing by Pebbles right there. Happened to join in right as his teammate got jumped. And
yeah, I don't know. Recent Gaming is letting this game slide a little bit. I feel like they had such an advantage, but yeah, as you pointed out, I mean, no Staff of the Master, so they don't really have anyone to tank the tower. They got the War Beast Wolves. I feel like if they were to go for that Conquer kill, once again, I mean, they should just go straight to the tower and start dealing some damage at least. They're not going to be able to break it otherwise, unless they have that token.
Yeah.
Puppet, yeah, Magnus as well went for Tablet of Command as well as the Pyre Monster. He was doing so good early on, and I mean, he's still doing good. I mean, they're 300 plus gold per minute. It's not shabby, but they are letting Sync Esports catch up now.
Yeah. And you know,
for no reason as well.
Well, exactly. That's kind of I was getting at there too. It's just it just feels like Reason Gaming, they just completely switched their mindset in this game. They went from just go, let's fight, let's team fight, let's push towers, to then, okay, now let's take it back a little bit. Let's just farm, and I think that token kill really has proved to be a lot more significant than maybe we made it out to be in the beginning. As bottom lane, Corrupted gets picked off. That is huge right there. Arcane Vortex will stall a little bit, but not nearly enough time for a response. And the more time you give them, the more those are going to happen.
Look at experience meter now. Like, it's almost identical once again.
Yeah.
I think they were ahead like 8k or something.
Yep.
15 minutes ago. They had such a big lead, but they just didn't capitalize on it. They should have just gotten map control complete and just, Puppet Puzzle Box, Wild Hunter.
He's scouting it out at least. Now, more obviously they can see him, and they're going to maybe try to take advantage of that, but no, he stalks away. He's going to be fine in the end right there. But yeah, again, the mindset changed for a reason, and you got to really question it, and it's showing here why it maybe wasn't the best of decisions there. To change. And you know what this is reminding me of now, actually? We did cast that series against a Complexity, and there was I think it was the game 3, I want to say, where they just did not push. They just kept on refusing to finish the game. And it got to a point where Complexity was actually almost able to make the comeback, just simply because of Reason's insistence on not pushing as a team for whatever reason. I don't know. It's just something in their DNA. Apparently, they when they're ahead, they don't like to try to really go cutthroat. They instead insist on playing a little bit more passive, and well, Sync's taking advantage here.
Yeah.
That's
They
his
were
time.
up versus the puzzle box early on. I mean, we pointed that out as well. Slap getting a puzzle box. Oh, they're gonna go on the Minotaur here. Actually,
Nope.
nice, well played by Slap. Gonna leave the Minotaur and just peek out. But
Will
Kiss is
they?
blinking in.
Yeah, they might actually get Hag again. The Mana Center doing the work, but he is going to be able to blink enough and get the distance. Pebbles? Okay, that's an illusion, so. Yeah, they both escape right there. So, yeah, I mean, that was 5 Heroes of Reason trying to go into the jungle, get some kills, and they didn't get anything in the end out of it. So, you know, something I want to look at, though, meaning to bring up here. So you look at, on paper, these lineups, and especially with the way the game's going, am I wrong to say that Reason actually has the stronger late game? I mean, Warbeast alone is obviously a very big threat, but then you got Corrupted on top of that. You know, Moira's always good at scaling. Like,
They do if it comes to like 5 versus 5 clashes, but so far I think Sync has made a statement that if they can just go for this kind of gank-oriented game instead, then they're going to do so. And so far it's working out very beautifully. So I think this is coming down more to like map control and those gank attempts, and it's actually coming down to like late game on paper, so to say, because I don't think that they can break the base recent gaming unless they get a pick off. I mean, Warbeast obviously can tear those towers down rather quickly if he gets some damage items, but still, I mean, on his own versus a Puppet Monster versus the Pebbles versus the Parasite, it's still going to be tricky. They got a Hellflower now as well, so he can't really feel too safe doing so. And I actually think that Sync, I mean, they got a mobility, they got the Wretched Hag, and if they let this go into the late game, he's going to be very, very dangerous on counter pushing, as well as defending the base.
yeah.
Pebble's got a Blink, of course, Parasite might pick up a Polki on his own, or those post-haste, they already got the Striders, and the recipe is a little bit cheaper now than it used to be, so they can bring a lot of pressure, and I don't think that, oh, what?
Yeah,
Kizu
this was
just in the top lane.
interesting. Slapped was, he was trying to just kill off the illusion right there more, and all of a sudden he used the Arcane Vortex, and obviously he had support nearby, specifically Corrupted. So Slapped getting a little too comfortable there as far as killing
I
the
didn't
illusion.
see that. I was thinking about something else. Kizu used his ultimate to last hit some creeps over the top lane.
Oh my gosh, Corrupted, by the way, gets picked up by Puppet. Well played right there. But so yeah, Kaiser using his ultimate, that's interesting. To kill a creeper, and actually he's in trouble right here, but Pebbles pops a shrug and he goes in. But Wretched Hag is like, see ya. So Pebbles now, he's left alone. And Warbeast with that Brutalizer especially, that's going to do some good damage. Can he Portal Key in time? I don't think so. That's not happening. He goes down. Yeah, his choice to even go in there in the first place, probably not the best at that point. I mean, I'm sure Wretched Hag was going to be able to blink away, honestly, so
Yeah.
ends up costing his own life. But again, they did pick off Corrupted just before that with Puppet Master finding a kill, so...
And even though he went for
trade-offs.
Shroud and BKB, he is still finding those kills on
Yep.
enemy hard carry. That's quite insane.
Obviously, that's the skill set of the hero there.
Also goes back to the build-up, though. I mean, with the Firebrand, with the Energizer, and the Wingbow now. Like, he doesn't have that survivability. And you gotta think that when you're up versus those heroes, like Pebbles, Parasite, Puppet Monster, wouldn't it be a good idea to, like, tank up a little bit?
Yeah, that is
Would
true.
feel so.
Shrunken Head being made priority here on Hag as well. Obviously, even Pebbles got it at this game. I guess, again, this is one of those makeups now as we are getting into the later game. There is going to be a lot of physical threat, obviously Corrupted, and, well, of course, Warbeast all throughout. So, do you think these Shrunkens actually make the most sense outside of Puppet Master, or are you fine with them getting them?
I'm fine with them getting it. Hellflower is all that Wretched Hag needs to keep up the farm, to keep up the sustainability. Actually, it gives plus 225 mana regeneration. That's 25 more than Sheepstick. And Hellflower is like 100 or 1.5k cheaper as well. So yeah, if you want to go for farm and mana regen, then Hellflower is definitely the way to go. But BKB, I think it's fine. I saw it earlier as well that when Parasite was in that Wild Hunter, for example, and I was looking over at the Legion side and I was like, okay, who's actually going to bring him out of that Wild Hunter? Like,
Yeah.
they don't have that much physical damage. They got a Corrupted Disciple and Warbeast, but they are low-range heroes. I mean, melee range on Warbeast and then Corrupted Disciple. He picked up the Wingbow now, so he's going to have a little bit further range, but still, it's going to be very tricky. So as long as, like, they are avoiding all those stuns and all that lockdown, I think they're going to be fine with all the mobility that they have.
Yeah, that is true. Well, it's again, you got Recent Gaming right here. When are we going to see a clash? We have not seen a team clash since early on in this game, and obviously that keeps going back to it. Just seems like that's benefiting Sync more and more as this game continues to advance on. But Kongor's up, and it looks like that's what they're interested in.
There's vision here though from the Legion side. The Bound Eye, it's up in 2 seconds. Probably going to be used here by Near. Or he's got an invisibility rune, so he's a little bit greedy now.
Oh, that's, I don't know about that. I mean, now at the same time, there we go. He's going to use it now. They will realize that they were seen. But I was going to say, I don't know if Sync's really interested. It looks like they are now, though. They are heading over, but now they're blind. And you see Morrison in the illusion. Yeah, that'll scare them off ultimately. So if they didn't counter that war, we could have possibly seen a jump right there. But Sync did not feel comfortable after it did get taken out. So well played in the end with the Bound Die, and that means a token now on Corrupted. Did he sell something? I think he might have sold something minor. But anyways, he's got a full inventory here. And here we go. Now they're going to try to break into the base. Pebbles jumps in, though, and the Warbeast right away. The Chuck, it didn't turn the right target. However, will it matter in the end? Pebbles, he's getting drained with the Conduit. Arcane Vortex stalling a lot. Only his own teammates more so, though. Warbeast didn't do a damn thing the whole time. He didn't even ultimate in the long run. Pebbles in the background trying to survive. He will go down. The Blazing Strike doing him in, but a double tap for Flensmeister, and Sync is definitely able to hold right there in the end.
Well played by Mick on that Pebbles. And initiation was really good. Just instant. Like, they were dealing a lot of tower or a lot of damage to the defense tower, so he just jumps in instantly, doesn't wait for anything, and then the lockdown on Warbeast. They went down to 20% HP before they could get the more ultimate up to save him. So a little bit of a slow reaction time from Nero as well on Amora, but that just goes back to the fact that he doesn't have a portal key. I'm not sure. He had like 1.8k saved up earlier on. I'm not sure what he invested that into.
Yeah.
One Bound Eye at least, but I think he's only died once, so... I don't know. Lex Talionis as well. I guess that's level 3.
Yeah. I guess he just spent his gold elsewhere, and then of course on top of that, all the wars that I'm sure he's been buying, so...
Yeah, I was under the impression that he had that portal key. It's such a good tool on that hero, especially when you're pushing, just to completely get rid of the Puppet Master ultimate for the time being.
Well, doesn't have it here, and at this rate, probably not going to have it, especially if they want to try to invest into another Bound Die on top of it. So Flensmeister has a Slayer picked up, by the way, and in fact, he actually is just about got the Savage Mace finished. So... they're going to have that tool now on top of not only just good damage, but of course to, in essence, counter the Wing Bow pick up from Corrupted Disciple right here. And worth noting, of course, Corrupted still has the token. And so you think they're going to give it another go right here, if anything.
I think they should. They have to, more or less. I don't see how they are going to be able to win this otherwise.
Yeah.
They do have late game presence a little bit, yes they do, but the mobility from Sync is too strong, and they've already shown that in this game that they are so good at counter pushing. They do have buybacks on Wretched Hag, onto Puppet Master, but I don't think it's going to be enough for Slapped and Pebbles, so in case they can get one of those kills... yeah, this could be a potential Rax kill, actually, I don't know.
Oh, wow, Chuck, the poor man's portal keeper. Pyromancer goes down! He got picked off! He got chucked in by Pebbles right there, and eventually picked off in the end, so quick kill. Oh, I gotta... yeah, I guess it's wrong to say poor man's portal because that was an enemy, but anyways... something about last fight you kind of brought up as well, too. Sync, they are so good at just going, just reacting. And by that I mean, with so many times I find ourselves sitting here like, oh, they got to defend. We'll see. When are they going to jump right here? Sync's just like, they go. I mean, they don't really wait for that prime perfect opportunity. They just say, we have a chance. Let's just go. Let's just make it happen. And that's back-to-back times now. That has proven to work out. In these
it comes down to experience. Sync are just so good at these kind of things, and it's usually the best point. You just go straight off, as long as you got the backup coming as well for your team. But like Mickey does this over and over, as you mentioned, and everyone from Sync Esports is on the same page. They are ready for when it happens to follow it up. And recent gaming, I mean, they don't have the communication going. At that point, usually it takes a few seconds before you get into position, and with a Magnus usually you need that kind of juke spot where you want to channel your ultimate. So just going straight off is definitely paying off so far.
Yeah,
they still got a token of life, 1 minute, so they're gonna give it to yet another try, but this time they need to be careful.
Well, double damage rune does make it a little more effective, to be fair. 35 seconds remaining on that, so that's quite the threat, and he's going to go right for the racks. You do see all the damage, so once again, is Sync going to react quickly? Not so much. They wait a bit right there. Parasite steals a double damage, but Sync is actually just a fan of giving it up in the end. They did not even remotely try to defend right there. and that
They
is going to
can't.
be a
That's
Rax
the thing.
kill. So
They have to jump in the background. They can't go for the Corrupted Disciple who was in the front with the Token of Life and a DD, of course. Slab did, or tried to make an attempt at least, of creating some space. Or creating an opportunity for his team, but the Legion team did not take the bait. Everyone from the Legion side just stood by in the towers watching that happen.
yeah.
So Mickey couldn't find her jump. And obviously there wasn't any wards from Sync's part either to support or give vision on where the rest of the team was located at the point.
Yeah, that's an interesting statement. That they're mediocre with a 76.5% win percentage, but point is, yeah, for a team that wins very, very often, tends to be actually one of their lower win percentages, believe it or not, in the end. So, yeah, it has played it quite a bit, though. Of course, Puppet Master in general, a popular hero, but hey, if it goes to the later game, then it seems like that does taper off. And again, on paper, it really does seem like that this Legion side, especially with the 6-slotted items coming out eventually, that, yeah, they should be in a good spot to ultimately take through, especially now being up a Rax on top of that. But there still is time left, by all means, for Sync Esports right now. And you got to figure Wretched Hag is also going to be picking up her next tier. I'm actually curious. Will we see something like a Sheepstick here, you think? Or will it be more of a combat item? Something even like a Savage Mace herself?
Oh, that's a tricky one. I'm not sure. I feel like they need lockdown. They don't have too much. They got the Stalagmites initiation with the Pebbles, but after that, it's only the Puppet Hold and the Puppet Show that's, or only the Puppet Show from the Puppet Master currently helps them lock down healers. And if Warbeast gets that ultimate off, then the Sheepstick is not going to help. So potentially, I feel like they need a little bit more of a physical presence. So I would rather see him go for something like, wait, he's going for Frostfield Plate.
Huh.
I don't
okay.
know. I guess that's alright. He gets a lot of armor, of course, so he's going to be able to take a lot more hits from Corrupted Disciple and Warbeast. But at the same time, I don't feel like that's his place. I don't feel like he's the one that's going to be focused or in the front. I feel like they're going to focus Puppet Master, if anyone. So I would rather see him go for full out damage.
Yeah. This is an interesting choice right here. Definitely. I mean, I'm just trying to really absorb that decision there. And usually I am a fan of it too, but kind of like you're saying right there, it just seems like that they're going to need more damage threat ultimately in the midst of these fights. Right now they're a little too reliant on the upfront burst. I mean, they got plenty of it. They got the Pebbles, the Parasite, and of course the Puppet Master on top of that with the Voodoo Puppet. They got a ton of burst, but as far as sustained damage goes, it does lack off. You know, after that, obviously Puppet Master still going to do decent, but having a secondary option pretty good for that as well, especially the one that's so mobile in the team fights. But in the end, going the Frostfield Plate, so we'll see how that works out for Sync Esports. I mean, he actually could purchase it by now, but of course at the point of maybe a buyback too is important. Corrupted bought a Whispering Helm right there, it looked like, so we're going to see some Symbol of Rage action on him eventually as far as his final item or possible final item.
That, yeah, that might be a... I mean, they're looking to get a little bit more sustainability, and I think that's alright, because they got a Warbeast which deals a lot of damage over time, so as long as Corrupted Disciple, you know, can stand in the middle of the fight, and he has deal damage, actually he's gonna take over an Ice Ogre here with like 5% HP, but he doesn't care. That's gonna give him a little bit more armor in those team fights. I'm not sure how much it gives. Plus 8 armor, that's a big deal.
Yeah. Not too shabby. So, what did I just see? Oh yeah, he did buy the Frostfield Plate, okay. So, that is official now. Of course, with the plate mail, really wouldn't be anything else, so it's just a matter of when he got it. Uh-oh, bottom lane, though. He is going to be jump right here. He has backup, though. Can they get there in time? No, they cannot. He goes down, but they will at least get a turn kill on a Magnus. He was in the blink animation. Unfortunately, could not blink in time there, though.
Wow, that burst damage, though. I mean, everyone from Sync was behind that Hag. They were baiting him, and still they managed to fail.
Yep. That's, you know, I was just talking about Sync's burst, but you're right. Obviously, there is even a good amount on Reason side. Pyromancer, a big part of that. Of course, level 3 ulti now, 950 damage. Magic damage straight up to the face. So, yeah, and this is not a tanky team here on this Hellborn side. No one even over 2,000 life at this point. Hag herself 1780 or so. So, good burst indeed. And Storm Spirit on a Pyromancer, by the way, is the follow-up. And even another 2,000 gold saved up. So, possible another choice.
That's a nightmare. That's a nightmare if you're Hellborn right now. If he jumps in and gets the Storm Spirit up on, for example, the Warbeast when he's Hellflowered or a Parasite ultimated or something like that, then he's gonna secure the Warbeast getting off his BKB off in the team fights. that's a very, very well needed item, and probably the most underrated item in the game. I think the Storm Spirit is good for so many things, and we saw in the Sync versus Druid series as well that Kraken or Mickey on Kraken
Yeah.
picked it up just to get those like Storm Chargers like head on.
Yep. We've seen the idea of the Soul Stealer even being picked up every now and then in that combo there too. So yeah, I agree with you. It is one of those items that seems like there's even more utility to it than just simply the saving aspect initially, and we maybe don't see it enough, but it is picked up here by a Pyromancer and going to have that benefit, especially more of the saving aspect here. Hag blinking around in the bottom lane, trying to see if you can find anything. Has that bound eye, but nothing just yet. Puppet Master, what did he buy? Genjiro. Genjiro in full now finished on Puppet. So the Savage, the Genjiro, those two items alone doing plenty for him. Again, it is always funky seeing a Genjiro on a Puppet Master, I think, because he's not agility, but it's still good having the second invis and, you know, the burst damage on top of that too. So it still makes sense, I think you can say, but
yeah, still
not
very
as
defensive build up here.
Oh jeez.
I don't think that's necessary to get Genjiro. I think that's an overkill.
I like that. They all just use the Veiled Rot and then all of a sudden pause. Comes out. It's like, reason's gonna think about this now.
I think Sync is gonna think about it as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Usually that's what happens when I pause. Yeah, you like talk it through. Like, okay, this is what's going down. This is what's happening. Did they see us smoke up? Because in that case, we're screwed.
So now I don't know if they saw smoke up, but the Hounds did scout them before, and they might have seen the Veiled Rots in their inventory. So that's where, if you're Reason, you know, and again, I really wouldn't be surprised if that was maybe a pause right there to say something might be up. There is this Word of Sight here. Oh, they're gonna jump more. That's gonna be a free kill off the bat, you would think. Maybe not. Storm Spirit comes out. She is still alive. Finally goes down. Bat Blast, he's connected on. That's an illusion. Never mind. I was gonna say that dropped him fast, but the real one coming in now. They did catch Magnus though. Magnus is gonna end up falling. It looks like, yes, he goes down. Corrupt Disciple. The Conduit Chargers are adding up. However, he gets a kill on to Empath, excuse me, but that's not really much. In fact, his teammates are dying around him still. Pyromancer gets picked off, who buys back immediately, by the way. Puppet Master, they're going to open. Here comes that burst that we're talking about. Corrupted Disciple feeling the brunt of it, even with the knocks of the Malphite. It's not going to matter. He goes down. A hat trick for Mickey. And Sync Esports, for the first time this game, are really building the momentum themselves, and they are ahead now.
Damn, and no buybacks! Once again, this is going to be token and bananas for Sync Esports Reason Gaming. What are you doing? You had this game!
Yeah.
You cannot let game number 1 slide when you're up in a best of 5 versus Sync Esports. They are not gonna forgive you for that one.
Yep, this is, it's gonna sting a little bit, no doubt, for Reason Gaming, but again, it's not over yet. It's definitely not over, but it's... Sync is, it just feels like it's been slowly working towards this, where Sync eventually was going to get the lead themselves, and then they were going to pull away with it. Now, will that happen ultimately? Obviously, we'll have to wait and see, but...
Symbol of Rage picked up on the Corrupted Disciple, and I felt like that was alright when they was in the lead now, but I kind of like... I don't know, I changed my mind about that, because he deals no damage whatsoever in those teamfights now.
Yeah, Conduit obviously is relying a lot on that. I mean, there is that idea, but yeah, that's definitely never always guaranteed on top of just the aspect of... I mean, hell, yeah, you figure targets you want to use it on, Puppet Master, even the Wretched Hag, or I guess the Pebbles would be a good candidate because he doesn't necessarily have the greatest escape after. I was thinking, though, with the Blink, you got the Genjiro, though, against them. But yeah, if he uses a Conduit against Mickey here when he jumps in, ideally, then actually it could be pretty powerful in the end. But yeah, at the same time, he is relying a lot on that working rather than just simply going more of the item build for it, of more raw damage.
Still no Polki on Mora, by the way. I can't get over that. He was so close to it, but he should go for the Lex Talionis instead.
On Moira? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if he would have had Polki in this game, that would have been a completely different matter.
Yeah, you got the Lex also on the other side, of course, an Empath, but definitely makes a lot of sense on her. You know, she is that idea that inside somebody else and wants to be able to help enhance their damage, if anything.
And now BKB on Magnus as well. I know that he needs it. He feels that he needs it, but it's too much defensive items on Reason's side. It really is. There's nothing that like speaks late game.
Yeah.
Puppet Master got the tablet, the Storm Spirit, defensive items, and I approve of that. But in that case, you need to make sure that someone else picks up the damage items.
Yeah, no, I see where you're coming from. I mean, Warbeast does have a demonic here, but man, I was going to say, I'm going to look at the damage charts, and I'm not surprised. Warbeast is only 4% hero damage done. At 48.5 minutes into the game, you would figure that would actually be a bit higher by now at this point. But it still is pretty low. In fact, tied for the lowest with Empath on the other side, so that should definitely tell you something. But yeah, I mean, his inventory is looking pretty good, but I guess it goes back to this is a pretty kite-heavy team. They got a lot of ways to keep away from you with the Blinks, with the Genjiros, with the Parasite-infesting creeps. Obviously, Empath jumping inside somebody, and then Pebbles is really the only one that not necessarily doesn't have the greatest getaway, but, we're the only one candidate there in the end. So I think that's kind of been an issue as well for Warbeast and having it handled. But you see again, Sync Esports, they're playing the aggressors now. They're pushing towers. That is the last outer tower. Going to be pushed right there. Token's still up for 2 minutes. I wonder if Sync's actually going to really try to use it here or not.
How many BKBs do they have? They have 3 of them. It's still scary to push into a Magnus Eruption.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the Corrupted Disciple as well. He's very good at just holding his ground, so I don't think they're going to utilize it. I think they're just going to play it safe. As long as they can get offensive wards up in the enemy forest or in the Legion forest, I think they're happy with the situation.
Yeah. I will say Zane is doing a pretty good job of scouting constantly with the Hellhounds. I feel like every time I see Sync, there's at least one of these Hellhounds happening to be nearby, so Zane is doing his part to give his team that information there as much as possible. Puppet Master, though, he's going to have a next tier soon himself. Yeah, that token going to be wearing off here in the near future. He'll probably just replace, obviously, that's item spot with, well, I don't know. I mean, where does he go from here, actually? Maybe a symbol himself? Wouldn't it be a bad option?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Symbol. He went for it?
Well, he went Whispering Helm, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he might just stick it to the Whispering Helm for now. He mightn't necessarily upgrade it into the symbol, but it depends. I mean, his token is going to run out now, so he's going to have one item slot open. Look at him, boy, by the way, sending those Geometer Solutions up to the top lane, just hitting the tower.
Yeah, putting some pressure in there. Oh, is that all from his illusions, really? Yeah, he's actually done some decent damage there in the end.
Over time, it stacks up, yeah, and I mean, that's going to be very helpful when the Sync Esports decides to go for that push attempt, then Warbeast is going to look to counter push. But they got a nice ward. Insania already got a heads up here. He got a ward of sight deep into their own forest.
Yeah.
So he's going to see if Warbeast intends to sneak up there.
Yep, you got the courier scouting things out. Sync was almost around the Congo pit as if they're going to do Congo, but yeah, the Token of Life literally has, well, in fact, it just wears off right there. So there's still 5 more minutes before Congo's going to be up. What is that, around 56:40? We'll keep that in mind. Going to be resurrecting here, so I'm sure that's going to be a point of contention as usual. Oh, that's right. The third kill actually did just take place. I didn't even realize that, but Hag actually has the bananas right here. So
yep, it was when they won the team fight down at the bottom.
Yeah. Now there you go. Hag's having those.
Illusions once again dealing tower damage.
Some little bit of pressure there, but not enough, though, to break through just yet again. This has been a situation where Reason did get the middle racks about 15 minutes ago or so, but haven't necessarily been able to really work off of that just yet.
Oh, Pebbles might be in a little bit of trouble here.
Magnus, he pops a trigger, and he goes in first, though. He says, I'm going to fight, bring the fight to you. Arcane Vortex comes out. Puppet Master, he's being locked down by the bash. The Voodoo Puppet's up, but he needed to fall back, trying to get the kill to Magnus. It's not going to be enough for the kill, although it got him low. Pebbles does die in the end, hits the chuck, but he falls. Magnus, a nice stun in the background. Wretched Ag blinks in. Parasite and Puppet in trouble, though, but Mickey bought back, by the way. And this fight continues right now. Puppet Master, he goes down. Is he going to buy back? Nothing just yet, at least. Wretched Hag, in the meantime, holding her ground. In the background, that was Moira getting chucked back in. And a double tap for Keizu actually works out. You see the ultimate, 3 deaths on the side of Reason. Now, Puppet did also buy back, so there were several buybacks, to be fair, coming out from Sync.
That it was. They need to capitalize out of this right now. They need something. Puppet Monster had a token and he's still... No, wait, the token ran out just before that fight, actually.
Out, yeah.
yeah, they got a lot of buybacks. They won the team fight, but they need to capitalize out of this now. Are there any buybacks on the Legion side? Pyromonster doesn't have one. Mora got one, but that doesn't matter too much. His ultimate is down. Corrupted Disciple, Warbeast, it's always 40 seconds before Pyromonster resurrects.
Yeah. I mean, he's a pretty big deal. He really is. Obviously, that ultimate of his, the utility that it brings with the items. This is a chance for Sync to really make something. Banana's even still on Hag, by the way. Also, even just got a Resto Stone. Now, she doesn't actually have it just yet. It is being delivered, but it looks like Sync is not going to push the issue. They say it's just not worth it. I mean, they got there a little bit later on, and yeah, by the time they do, it's just too much to handle. So they'll play it safe. They will fall back, and the Resto Stone is delivered in full to Wretched Hag. But now she has a double ulti, of course, is the big thing. On top of double Hellflower. Hell, double Frostfield Plate. Might be pretty fun, too. But having the Resto Stone, though, here. That'll be useful as the ultimate point.
Yeah, Resto Stone is just such a great item. It's so underrated as well because, I mean, you can use it just to get a double Hellflower, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't pick up the same of 2 items, but with the Restoration Stone, it's 5.2k. So, for example, if you have a Sheepstick that's 5.6, you can get a second Sheepstick for the less cost of the first one by just using the Restoration Stone.
Huh. Well, that's a good point.
I mean, you don't necessarily need to use it for multiply items. You can just use it for that single Sheepstick, more or less.
Now, they failed route right here. I think they might have been seen by Mora, but Mora is in for a surprise.
Oh boy, that's not fun.
She's sitting there channeling as if nothing's going to happen, and all of a sudden she dies, yeah. Pretty
Such an
silly.
awkward situation when you're doing that.
Yeah, and you see the Legion team, too. They realize now that they're the ones being hunted down. Wretched Hag, who Warbeast wants to. He's back and forth, but the indecision may cost them right here. Parasite jumps in. Parasite's going to fall off the bat, so that works out. But a big comment from Pebblesell. The one Bat Blast ultimate comes out, I believe, as, oh no, actually he did Wrestle Stone. But anyways, point is, Sync cleans them up. Matt H, he's going for the TP. He will be successful, but yeah, what was Reason thinking? Taking that fight, especially when the Moira just got picked off. Clearly not the best decision.
They are, I don't know, they feel a little bit tilted at this point. Corrupted Disciple buys back, or Warbeast though doesn't have a buyback, so I'm not sure if they're going to be able to hold this one.
Yeah.
Or Sync not even going for it?
No?
Yeah, they are. They're just gonna rotate to the mid.
Okay.
Or to the bottom, maybe. I don't know.
No, they're not going for it. They want to wait for the next Conqueror, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we mentioned what was about. He's going to be up in about 30 seconds here. So they figure let's just simply wait for that, I'm sure. Being Hellborn advantage. There is no vision right now coming out from Reason at this point, so.
That's, I don't know, that decision to not go for the racks or even force buybacks at this point. 56 minutes, I mean, that's a big deal. Getting buybacks out of Reason is, like, I don't know, okay.
Yeah.
Gonna wait for the Conqueror, I guess. I mean, they still got the bananas on Wretched Hag, though. They haven't even been able to use it so far.
That's true. Now, unlike the token, those don't wear off, to be fair. And in fact, you could even stack them if you happen to get another one. So, not the biggest deal in the
Your
world.
Doctor Repulsor, especially, yes.
Yeah, really powerful in that.
Fly throughout the entire map.
So, Congo is up. And obviously, you see both teams aware of that. Moira scouting it out with her illusion, but yeah, the same items though standing on Reason Gaming side, where it seems like we've had a little bit of progression at least, but actually there's just a lot of gold saved up right now by Sync as a whole. Everyone has at least 2,000 plus gold, it looks like. Empath just slightly there, but basically there at the same time. So
it's a buyback factor.
Yeah, just to make sure they have that good to go here. Towards a single game kill record 17. Oh, well, what does he have? 11? Okay. 11, 8, and 10. Yeah, it's been a very active game for him on that Pyromantic. Again, a hero that definitely can accomplish that. Not a huge surprise here.
If you look at this core here at the top left of the map, I think that's a little bit out of control right now.
It seems that's not necessarily accomplishing a whole lot there, but it's enjoying the view on the off the map. Yeah,
These Hellhounds, by the way, insane, are doing so much work for Reason.
Yeah, no, yeah, I mentioned that earlier. It's just constantly using those as scouting tools, and it's been helping definitely, I'm sure. Man, there's always those tense situations though. Coming up about an hour into this game right now.
I wonder why Sync is so hesitant and falling back right now.
Yeah.
They were around the Congo pit, but they decided to, for some reason, fall back. They even countered the ward from recent gaming at first. They got a new one here now, though, but I don't know. Maybe they're waiting for the Bound-Eye to be up, but they got 2 Bound-Eyes, so that shouldn't be the case. And I mean, they got buybacks on all of their heroes, so they're definitely going to be able to get back into this fight if they were to get picked off early on.
Yeah, I think it's pretty crazy the fact that the map control, the Conquer control of those frustration ghosts was taken over by Reason right there. But Warbeast, he's kind of just running in as if something's going to be happening, but nothing really happens as a result of it.
They don't want to focus the Warbeast if possible, because he got a lot on Storm Spirit on Puppet or on Pyromonster, and of course the Moira ultimate as well. So they would preferably or optimally want to catch the Pyromonster or the Magnus.
Yeah. Look at the top push, though. That's a big creep push coming out from the Hellborn team right now.
Wow, they have to defend that.
Yeah. You see Moira's heading back, and
but Moira, what's he gonna do?
Yeah, the Shard of the Harkine can only hit so many targets. So that's a little awkward right there. Sync knows that they're having to deal with that. I wonder if they're going to really try to capitalize here. It doesn't seem like they're really going for a whole lot, though, in the end.
No, I'm not sure why. I feel like they have a very dominant position here. But they still feel a little bit unsafe whether or not to go in. But I mean, of course, I mean, you can go back to your forest and farm if you feel like it. But in that case, don't stand around in the mid and wait for something to happen. Moira just went to the top lane. What's the point? Like, what are you waiting for? You're not going to get a better opportunity like that.
Yeah, the only thing that I can... Actually, they want the double damager, and here we go! Puppet Master isn't here just yet, though. Wretched, he's being locked down. Wretched forced to blink away with barely any life. That Conduit doing plenty, as Parasite is the one that got the double damager in the end, by the way. Here comes Puppet Master. Oh, jeez. Vote to pause. Tanka DC. Oh, yeah, he's not there. Oh, no, Tanka's there. I thought he was...
yeah, he just tapped it up the cliff, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's a little interesting.
Oh my god, it's so that feeling is just so painful when you're in the middle of a team fight and then that happens.
I like how Insania is like saying anything he feels to, yet he's inside somebody. I mean, it's an empath. Is that really a big deal? No. Obviously, it's crucial too. But well, this is going to be interesting coming out of this. Nobody dead just yet, but Corrupted. He's in a bad spot, so here we go, resuming. Warbeast, he goes toe-to-toe. He's trying to make a point. That's not going to happen, though. Corrupted Cyber goes down. There's a jump on a Warbeast now. He's out of ulti form. Magma stuns him with Eruption. Down goes Pebbles. Pyromancer, big burst on a puppet. No, he died just before. Flesmeister picks up another kill, and they chase further. They're not going to get the kill on Magnus in the end, but this leaves Congo wide open. A double tap for Flensmeister throughout that fight. That was all because of the double damage rune spawn. They all wanted it.
Legion team, they don't have enough lockdown. They are the ones who initiate as well in a 4 versus 5 situation. They were the one to go into onto the Hag, but they weren't even able to follow up on the Magma stun. So he got his BKB up straight away on Kisu, and just fight went downhill from there.
Yeah, I would love to watch that replay when we get the second here. Obviously, I don't want to do it just yet, though, especially if Sync's going to really push in right here. But Corrupted and Warbeast, they do not have buybacks, so I thought they would have. But yeah, I guess it is that point of the game where even 1,500 gold isn't enough for them. Zane even also only level 19. I'm really just realizing that too. Jeez, so level 25 Puppet, Haga level 24 Parasite, but Warbeast level 19 at this point. Really is under level this game.
Yeah,
they're going to
ready to shut him down.
Yeah, they can't stop this, obviously. You do pretty much just have to accept it. And this is going to be good for Sync, too, because obviously their racks have been missing middle for a while, and now they push in middle. So Sync is vulnerable. Yeah, well, that's, I guess, a fair point. But, yeah, no, they're in the very dominating spot now. I mean, just look at the golden experience swing. It's ridiculous now. It's 22,000 gold lead and 27,000 experience lead for Sync. For the longest time, this game was, if anything, very even when it came to those stats, if not favor of Reason. Hell, they were upwards of, I think it was like 8,000-9,000 earlier on in the game. So
that they were.
Obviously, it's been a big swing. All right, get the replay here, but I'll be coming to the pause. But yeah, I mean, you're right too though about that fight. That was a 4 versus 5 in favor of Reason to start that off. Puppet Master did take a little bit. In fact, we'll see that in the replay here. He was not there, well, I guess this is after that, honestly. But anyways, the point is, he wasn't there for the beginning. Corrupted, he got picked off, not able to do too much. And I want to see this Pyromancer. He jumps in and yeah, he got one shot by Puppet Master. He did jump in with half life, to be fair, but still, the one auto attack killed him. That was kind of interesting. But yeah. Anyways, you saw right there, though, Sync just ultimately overran them in the end. And Puppet Master, yeah, he has a full symbol now. You got a repurchase of of a Shrunken Head on Hag, as well as Post Haste. 5,700 gold on Parasite. Who knows what he's going for here? He could honestly go for a Savage himself. Like he actually hits pretty hard, honestly. Demonic and Puzzle Box alone is doing decent damage. Okay, go Sheepstick.
Look at this, by the way. Everyone picked up Post Haste on Sync
Do they
side.
all have it? They do, don't they? No, not Puppet Master.
Parasite bought for. Oh wait, actually only one. Okay, it was Corrupted Disciple on the Legion side. Oh, I'm confused.
I was like, wait a second. Yeah, Hag and
two people from
Pebbles
Hellborn and one
Yeah.
from Legion.
So we're seeing a couple of those pop up now. Of course, this is the time of the game where we do. What is Corrupted going, by the way? He has the Gloves of Swift on him.
I don't know. He just picked up Post Haste, which makes no sense. To be fair, to be in this position, if they want to go for some kind of like trade-based scenario with the Warbeast Wolves, then yes, of course you can go for that. But I don't think they're going to win a base trade scenario at this point.
Well, yeah, Warbeast does get it as well. I think it's safe to say that Reason is in that spot. And, you know, even with them having the racks advantaged, even still, because they do have the range racks middle technically. They just feel like they're so far behind, and again, they really are when you look at it as far as stats go.
Yeah.
And
But when do you use it in that case? Do you wait until, okay, the Warbeast or the Hellhounds are actually running over, but do you go all in on the throne and then you have like Magnus try to cancel Sync TPs? Because I think that's like the only way, because they got TPs over Sync side. It's not a case of like, okay, they got 6 slots, all of them, and they don't carry any TPs. They got a post hates.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's tough. I think they're just gonna try to go right for it. The middle. Yeah, there's a post chase on Pyromancer as well. Here we go. They're porting in, so Sync, it's going to be how quickly they react. You see one person already TPing back. The defensive tower, it is Pebbles. He's going to try to hold his ground. He can't do it by himself, though. Oh, man, and do they get stopped over here? Yeah, I think Magnus is stopping them. This is, oh, my God.
Oh, my.
Did Reason just seriously do it? Pebbles buys back. Sync's in trouble. Reason Gaming, the backdoor stratus is actually going to work. Wretched Hat goes in with the Bat Blast. She's able to make it back at least. But Warbeast, there goes Pyromancer as well. It's so low. Pyromancer finish it off. Reason Gaming, no! Yes, Corrupted gets it! GG, well played, Reason Gaming takes game number 1. Are you kidding me? Wow, you called it, and it worked. They chose to just do the race. And I gotta think, obviously I can only be in one spot at once, but I gotta think Magnus, he was huge there as well. It seemed like he at least stopped a couple of, including Puppet Master.
More ultimate.
Yeah, the Puppet Master was not able to come back initially. And that was obviously the biggest deal right there. Wow.
Yeah, and Empath, of course, inside of the Puppet Master. Same thing goes with him. That was insane. That decision, though, from Reason, I didn't think that was going to work. Like, honestly. But, wow.
It never
turning
does.
The game
we've seen that.
around.
We've seen that attempted so many times. I feel like that idea right there that you're down by so much, just go for a backdoor, see what happens, and it always just never works. That's like one of the only times I've ever seen that idea work before. In my Honkcast history here, and that's crazy to see. So
it was so perfect though with the Hellhounds and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there was a courier circling the top side of the map from Sync's side just to prevent this kind of situation. But of course, the Hellhounds are invis, so it's very difficult. And he got them all the way into the Hellborn base. Just caught them off surprise, big time. That's wow, that can't be feeling good right now if you're Sync.
Yeah, so I kind of went back, yeah. So obviously both Empath and Puppet Master were stopped. Those were the two that were stopped. I believe everyone else was able to make it back ultimately. You see Wretched Hat ports back in. She Bat Blasts. I mean, but the Shrunken Head Corrupted, he didn't care. He just focused the Shrine the whole time. That's all they cared about. And ultimately it was enough. He got stunned at the last second. But yeah, they were not killing him at that point. And he got it. So without Puppet Master, they did not have nearly enough damage threat right there to hold it off and eventually make a comeback. But God, I just can't believe we saw that right there.
That was insane. That was a good ending though to a good game in general.
It's Reason was ahead earlier on too. It's not like they were just behind the whole time and they just happened to do that cheesy strat to win it in the end. They they were in the lead earlier on, and that goes back to their idea of man, they really feels like they should have pushed earlier, and they wouldn't have had to rely on doing this in the first place. But they get the W, and as it always goes back to, that's really what matters. So. Whew, that's going to be fun to watch chat blow up on that one. But anyways, guys, we're going to take a short break right here. Obviously, we're just getting started, too. That's the craziest thing. Game number 2 now going to be coming up here between Reason Gaming and Sync Esports. This is a best of 5, ladies and gentlemen, here of the winner bracket finals. That was game 1.